in excess of $15,000.
Even to this day, I'm still surprised that she just didn't come off it. She wouldn't tell us the truth, and that's all we were after was the truth. That day, this whole thing could have ended had we known the truth.
All that breaking news comes on a day investigators in the Casey Anthony case open up about the verdict that has now become a national obsession.
Casey Anthony set to be made. The detectives who worked for 3 years to keep her behind bars open up about all aspects of their investigation, especially the many lies she told deputies.
The lead investigator, Yuri Melich, was joined by crime scene investigators and deputies who work in computer forensics.
We have team coverage starting with West 2's Bob Keeling. And Bob, the big development, Casey's mother, Cindy, will not face perjury charges.
Yeah, that's right. And it was interesting to listen to the detectives in the case talk about that they stand behind their case, but at the same time they have to move on. And that means short-term actually protecting Casey Anthony while she's still in their jurisdiction. Meanwhile, they also confirmed that a criminal investigation they put on the back burner during the trial is now back in gear. The two lead Orange County detectives today said they had no doubt of Casey Anthony's guilt, but now it's time to move on.
I'm unhappy that it was a different verdict. I felt strongly in the case, and I still do.
The Sheriff's Department has moved from prosecuting Casey Anthony to protecting her. They confirm a member of their intelligence section has been assigned to assess any threats against her while Anthony is still in their custody.
I kind of stepped back and regardless of their feelings, would not, go out and commit another crime.
We're not going to be her personal security.
Unless there's a credible threat, Sheriff Jerry Deming says his department will make sure Casey Anthony is released from jail safely, but that's as far as they'll go. No special measures.
She's a free citizen at that point. The only thing that we would do is facilitate that departure.
Detectives also said that George Anthony was never a suspect, and their efforts to investigate Casey's allegations that he abused her were stopped cold by her attorney, Jose Baez. And now that the trial is over, they've resumed a criminal investigation into possible witness tampering, at issue whether someone encouraged a Texas Equisearch volunteer to provide false information to aid Anthony's defense.
We wouldn't say who is specifically targeted. When we do an investigation, we don't start with a target in mind. We follow evidence as to where it leads.
The detectives also would not give a time frame on this investigation, but said they do anticipate turning over a package to the state attorney's office at some point. Now, there were a lot of allegations made by the defense team that much of the forensics in this case were nothing more than junk science, and there was a lot of reaction to that today as well. For more on that, let's join my colleague Gail Pascal-Brown. Gail?
That was definitely a concern, Bob. Also, the sheriff called this meeting saying that there needed to be some sort of closure for the community.
I really thought that it was very important that we give our community and really give the nation the opportunity to have some closure, if you will, as it relates to this investigation.
Orange County Sheriff Jerry Deming says there have been countless requests to speak to the investigative team involved in the Casey Anthony case. From crime scene investigators to forensics, the team has followed more than 6,000 tips in search of her daughter, Kaylee. The forensics unit has collected more than 600 pieces of evidence, only for their work to be called junk science by the defense.
This is no fantasy. Everything was proved in court. Everything passed without problems. Even the defense, they don't have any objection with the evidence that I submitted.
As to how much the case has changed their lives, forensics computer examiner Sandra Osborne says a lot. She testified in court that Casey visited a site on how to make chloroform 84 times.
I was very new in 2008 when this started. I had been doing computer forensics for about a year. It was my first homicide case. What a way to start.
Sheriff Deming says now their ultimate goal is to get their personnel to work to take care of the citizens of Orange County. But will other citizens get nearly the kind of attention that Casey Anthony has garnered? The sheriff says he gives every crime victim appropriate attention.
The nature of each case kind of dictates the response that we will respond appropriately.
And of course, this has been a costly investigation for the Orange County Sheriff's Office. That will be the topic of an upcoming August hearing. I'm Gail Pascal Brown, live at Orange County Sheriff's headquarters for WESH 2 News.
Stay with WESH 2 News and WESH.com for continuing coverage of Casey Anthony's release. We have expanded coverage from the trial on our website. It's all there at WESH.com.
Murder.